Innes, Tim, great to speak with both of you. Now, as our audience will no doubt be aware, Metalbank is in the process of acquiring the WA gold assets of Hastings Technology Metals, with Tim set to join Metalbank as CEO. So, Tim, I'll start with you if I can. With Metalbank now positioned to drive these gold assets toward production, in your view, why is retaining MBK shares the best way for Hastings shareholders to benefit from the growth potential of these gold assets?
If I summarise that in my personal view to start off with, I'm a shareholder in Hastings, and I'm going to be taking up those MBK shares, Metalbank shares, through the in-specie distribution. And then in addition to that, I've also subscribed to the recent MBK offer, and I'm going to take up more shares as available as I can. So in all, I think that gives Hastings shareholders and Metalbank shareholders a view of my confidence in the combined group together, and my confidence in the geology and the opportunity that I'm seeing there. The MBK assets that we've got are very, very good. They really are. And when we also have the opportunity to bring those projects together with the Hastings Whiteheads projects, and as many people know that I'm very, very familiar with those, the opportunity for near-term production at Whiteheads is very, very clear. And then when I add in the Livingston resources on top of that as well, and how we can bring those into production in what is a high gold price situation at the moment, I think that's a very, very clear opportunity for Hastings shareholders to maintain their holding on Metalbank shares and be part of the bigger group moving forward.
And Innes, given Hastings shareholders will soon hold MBK shares, what's your message about why this transaction is more than just a divestment, and why holding on to MBK offers meaningful exposure to gold production growth and broader project upside?
Thank you, Alex, and thank you for your time. Yes, we're really excited to welcome Tim Gilbert on board. He's a very experienced mining engineer, and he knows the Western Australian gold sector intimately. He spent a lot of time working there and has a lot of contact and a lot of background information and current information on what's going on in that sector, as well as being a very experienced mining engineer. So, as well as the assets, this really strengthens our team. Obviously, the Hastings assets, the Whiteheads projects in particular, are very close to being near-term production. And then we have the longer-term growth story with our Livingston project. So all up, I think this is going to deliver a really good exposure to both gold and critical minerals through our Queensland Copper Cobalt project.
Now, the recently completed drilling program at Whiteheads, which was led by you, Tim, has already confirmed strong geological potential, as emphasised by the preliminary results you've just announced. So, Tim, how do you see this early technical success setting the tone for Metalbank's transition from explorer to near-term gold producer in WA?
I've always been focused on being an explorer and a producer. We don't see ourselves as simply an explorer trying to grow assets. We want to generate cash, and that cash from production, early production, to grow the opportunity to find more resource and reserves in the ground. We do not want to be going out there and raising dollars to put into new drill programs every single time. We want to use cash generation to help pay for additional drilling that we will be doing. So when Hastings first looked at gold opportunities, we had to find an opportunity, a gold opportunity that was right fit for our company size. We couldn't go too big, we couldn't go too small. And I think Whiteheads, as it's come through and as it's proving up, is the very, very good size opportunity for Hastings. It is a near-term production opportunity, and it has significant upside in future growth as we move forward. And I think that's borne out by the fact of the numbers that we're seeing at 7 litres from the early stage results we're getting from that recent drilling campaign that we did. And we're seeing more potential there in the assays than first thought. So when we combine Whiteheads with the Livingston assets, and that's 122,000 ounces of gold in resource, that really does enable us to build a clear production schedule from both of those assets to give us consistent production over the next couple of years to generate cash, and then we can use that cash to explore and add more resources into our current base.
Thanks, Tim. Now, Innes, Metalbank's strategy is clearly pivoting towards near-term gold production in WA, particularly with the existing Livingston resource of 2.8 million tonnes at 1.36 grams per tonne for 122,000 ounces of gold. It appears that the combination with Hastings is a proper marriage of complementary gold assets with clear capacity to leverage nearby third-party infrastructure. So how do the Hastings gold projects, particularly Whiteheads, fit into your broader value building strategy?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned just before, Tim has got exceptional knowledge, and some of this is also in production space, particularly with production through third-party processing facilities. So, the strategy is really to leverage into production quite quickly, particularly the Whiteheads projects that we are acquiring from Hastings, and then use the larger resource, which has got a lot of exploration upside, as the growth potential. And we'll also be looking for potential assets to acquire along the way if they fit within the portfolio and they're well priced and well within the team's ability to execute.
Now, Tim, with Entech advancing mine design, these latest drilling results in the Bank and the maiden resource estimate at Whiteheads, what's the roadmap from here to first production, and how do you see Meadowbank leveraging the operational groundwork laid under Hastings to accelerate development?
The roadmap we've got for Whitehead is pretty clear. We've been looking at it long and hard for several months now. These latest drilling results that we're getting are indicating a higher grade ore body than we first thought at 7 litres. But let's have Entech confirm that. And they're in that process. They're doing that right now. To make sure that we can meet that production timeframe that we set ourselves, we've commenced on our approvals roadmap already. We've got applications for mining leases are in process. We've completed a flora and fauna survey. We've been talking to the Jindalee station owners throughout our recent drilling program and building that relationship with them. And importantly, we also have a great relationship with the Kakara people, which enabled us to get on the ground for that initial infill drilling. So in all of that, much of that groundwork has been set up in place. And the mine plan is the next thing to get completed. And once we get that done, and we will have the exact mine plan, the tons, the grade, all of those good things that we need to get going, then we're going to be ready with the mining team and we'll be able to lock in that opportunity to process the ore in and around Kalgoorlie. And that's really, really important for us as well. There are multiple process plants within 100 kilometres of Whiteheads, and that's all, within the broader Kalgoorlie area. So in all of that, I'm feeling pretty comfortable that we're going to be able to finalise a processing deal in and around that area. After all, it is Kalgoorlie, the gold capital of Australia.
And just finally, Innes, with major shareholders already voting in favour of the acquisition, how does that support strengthen MBK's position heading into completion? And what does it say about investor conviction in the company's WA gold strategy?
Yes, well, we just completed a $2.4 million rights issue. As part of that, I've spoken to a lot of the current shareholders. It was very well supported. And I think everybody is universally really excited about the opportunity of us moving quickly into gold production and what the growth platform looks ahead. I think this is a really good opportunity for those Hastings shareholders who are going to be receiving MBK shares to hold on to those shares and perhaps even grow their portfolio so that they get that exposure not only to gold, but also to the copper, cobalt, graphite projects, the critical minerals projects that we have in Queensland. And just see this story of growing MBK from an exploration project through to a mid-tier producer. It's going to be a really exciting phase for MBK and all of MBK's shareholders.
Tim, Innes, really appreciate you both joining me today. Obviously, plenty of momentum building for Meadowbank as it steps up in the WA gold space. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex.